Well, some appropriate band clamp tool.
Are you replacing this
Loosen the clamp, pull off the hose, put the clamp back on the airbox end of it. This is actually the mass airflow sensor. Pull off this vacuum hose back here.
Well, I'm glad that I got the spare on, and then I lost the key.
Take your 10 millimeter nut,
drive around.
socket,
Okay.
remove.
Somehow I would have lost it before I got a.
I have a new air filter we'll put in too.
Really
Oh,
upset.
if you want to do that,
Okay.
I didn't bring my
Right.
Go ahead and remove the cover. These two screws that are along the back edge just come up. They do not come all the way out,
And I live in a place where it's not supposed to.
which has the advantage of you're not going to lose them. Once those come up, the lid can tilt, come off. You should disconnect the mass airflow sensor. That comes the air filter. How long have you had this?
That's about maybe 10,000 miles there.
I normally change about every 20,000, but that's
Okay.
getting a little dirty.
Now, what size socket are you using?
10 millimeter.
10 millimeter.
The hardest thing is on this side, you have an intercooler that sits right up on the fender here.
And it's only one?
And there's
One down there and one back here.
Okay.
And that out, you can take the whole remaining part of the airbox out. Get your 10 millimeter socket once again. And if it's not too tight, there we go. Take this nut off
If you don't keep it all the way up in there,
without dropping it.
And
then this
Should see that
piece
contraption on at 97.
comes out of there.
Something to make moonshine with.
A few problems out of here already, but we'll take this.
There's just a rubber boot.
Take the rubber boot off there. We can get a little bit better.
Okay.
you had
Using an appropriate tool to kind of scrape off the screen.
What are you using to do that with? Just your, okay.
A little Boy Scout knife.
Okay. And what you're trying to do is just to clean off any of the sticky stuff that's stuck on there?
Debris that is kind of impacted into the screen itself.
Okay.
Was it there for a while?
Kind of scrape along it there.
some
blades of grass.
Now, how much vacuum is actually put on that to actually pull in?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Now, is there a bypass? If that should be plugged with snow or something like that?
As happened to me last winter, in a snowstorm as I was traveling out to Kansas City, as I was in a big snowstorm between Indianapolis and St. Louis. Constant snow. You could see about a car length in front of you, and that was it. But just before I got to the Mississippi River, the car suddenly lost power. What had happened was that the intake itself had become clogged with snow. So this trap door on the side opens up to allow air in. Unfortunately, having been through this big snowstorm continuously, snow was packed everywhere in the engine compartment. So this door opened up to one big block of snow, with the exception of this little drain hole. There was this straw-sized hole from that drain hole up to the air filter, and that's all the air that was getting into the engine.
Now, is that hole something that should be checked on a regular basis, do you think?
The whole I've never seen one ever get clogged.
Okay.
It's there really for draining any moisture. Gets in there. You're going through a rainstorm or flood or whatever, which you shouldn't be doing, but just in case. It's there to drain. But having cleaned the snow screen, we put a little rubber shield back in.
Have you ever seen the rubber shield deteriorate to where something has to be replaced? Or is it pretty durable?
I haven't exactly examined too many of them, but mine is probably getting to that point where I keep taking it off every 5,000 miles or so. It's a little bit more wear and tear than somebody who just leaves it installed.
My my 20,000 I had done by the year.
And put that back in place.
Lose very much oil with it. So if you lose more, you have a problem.
Put your little 10mm nut on there.
There's
Take your air box.
If you don't feel oil, it's a typical
Work it back into place.
Again, like I said, nothing.
Now I left this bolt in this hole.
Okay.
Be careful not to drop it down into the engine compartment.
All right, that's the most difficult one to get to, I take it.
But it is a difficult one to get to. And
without it used, next to his first oil change, and he pulled the drain set out of his automatic transmission. That's got about the way the key says.
snug it up. Don't make it too tight because you do want to get it out in the future.
Everybody rips him about it. He does all the work on everything himself. Yeah, you do all this work yourself. You're still running.
Clean air filter.
Oh yeah.
And install it in the box.
The other thing I heard is really
Making sure that the nice pink
Do you have a recommended place to get the air filters?
you got to make sure the foam part of it is on the inside of this little edge lip that goes around the box.
Okay.
That makes sure it's fully seated. Like I said before, I order a lot of parts from
Impex.
I just put them on the order.
Okay.
They're only 11 to 12 bucks from Impex.
All right.
That's why I said, I read it.
Top part of the box. You notice these hooks along the side catch into the little hook parts of the air box. You hook them on there.
Okay.
Well, I remember they said you stood in front of the
Push the
car,
top down.
right, and I'm thinking, well, you got this, you got this.
The way I describe it to people is I tell them, disconnect your mouth, take the lid off the mouth. I took the lid off.
Okay, so it's just,
Those are just the two Phillips head screws that fit right there.
that's what everybody's telling me.
They're a little bit
Okay.
It has a couple wires going through it. It heats up the wires.
And what is it we have to remember to hook back up onto this air box now?
You have to remember to hook back up. Vacuum hose.
Okay.
Well, this is actually a fresh air hose for supplying fresh air to the solenoids.
This all comes out of the way. Then you have a nut.
And the electrical connection, mass airflow sensor, and of course the big air intake.
Now, for people who might not have that fancy tool there,
An ordinary pair of pliers and a strong hand will work as well.
okay.
But as you can see, when I used it just now, I had it clamped and could use both hands
Right.
for maneuvering the pipe. Hose by being in the proper little rut, shall we say, of the. I got this tool from a store called Performance Tools in Pontiac, Michigan. You can get them from various mail order places. Well, there are different brands.
Okay.
This is the Mayfield brand.
All right. Well, that didn't take long. That was great.